Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel that I'm trying to get started. Well, I've been praying about it and kind of felt like maybe the Lord is leading me to go this direction. So uh, we're just going to see how it goes. Um, I'm sitting out here on this beautiful fall day. Just absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite times of the year. Not too hot, not too cold, especially living in the South. So I'm thankful for that, to sitting out here and enjoy my swing. But I wanted to, first, my YouTube channel goes, I'm looking at, just kind of going over some of my blogs, maybe what's happening in my day, whatever's going on, I guess, in life at that moment. I'm pretty busy, you know, taking care of the kiddos and homeschooling, pastor's wife, my own things that I do as a ministry, and running my blog. And so, my blog, if you've already checked out my blog, for those of you who have, it's at largefamilyarrows.com, and my blog's focusing on my faith and my family, which is very important to me, and homeschooling. That is very important to me. And so, anyway, my YouTube channel will reflect those passions that I share, that I have. And so one of the things that's really near and dear to my heart, thinking on faith, is where are we at this time of year? We're a few days out from Halloween, and everybody, you see decorations everywhere. Now, I love to put out my porches over there, and I enjoy putting out my fall decorations. And there's it's just a beautiful time of the year. I love the decoration. I love the colors and all of this time of the year, but I don't enjoy the Halloween decorations, and I really don't enjoy that part of the month. It seems like it goes on and on for a while. So I have a blog post called Why We Don't Celebrate Halloween, and I just kind of wanted to go over this blog post and kind of talk about a little bit of why we don't do it. For my family and I, as many of you know, I have 8 kids, and it's just something that I never ever started. Halloween goes back, it has its origins in some not so cool stuff, pagan traditions, secular themes that don't line up with my Christian faith. For me, it's important to understand the origins and the symbols associated with this holiday, and to teach my children about these things. And so any of my kids, my oldest is 29, my youngest is 11, and any of them can tell you we don't do Halloween, and they know that it just does not have good origins. Instead of Halloween, our family celebrates in a different way. I like to do a church fall festival, and I don't aim to replace Halloween, but we do focus on wholesome ways to celebrate the season that do align with our beliefs. Of course, I respect other people's I respect that families may feel differently about Halloween. I may have different convictions about it, but I just wanted to talk about um, for us, uh, just celebrating Halloween when its origins can be found in a lot of, like I said, a lot of evil stuff. And I want to bring that out to my kids. And so I don't want to be partaking in things, quite frankly, that I feel like that is really all about Satan. Understanding Halloween's origins is important to me. Halloween can be traced back to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, where the end of the harvest season and the start of winter was a time when people believed that the boundaries between the living and the dead became blurred. This led to traditions of wearing costumes to ward off spirits. Over time, as Christianity spread, the church set November, the Catholic Church, set November 1st as All Saints' Day, with the evening being known as All Hallows' Eve, what we now call, you guessed it, Halloween. But the transformation wasn't complete to this fear of evil spirits. The holiday has since become more secular and commercialized, but I feel that some of those themes are still there, which is why our family doesn't celebrate it. Knowing the history helps us explain our choices to our kids in a loving and respectful way. This decision isn't about, judging other people's lives. It's about teaching our kids the significance of living out their faith. And so I don't, like I said, I don't take the fall festivals and I don't replace Halloween with a fall festival. In fact, when we do it at our church, I head up our fall festival at our church, and I make sure to do it. I like to do it at the beginning of the month, and I like it to be, it has, we're not dressing up, we're not trick-or-treating. All of these things are part of um, the ancient times of where Halloween came from. They all had different meanings and different things that these different things stood for. Like the jack-o'-lantern and stuff. It's not good. People, yeah, the jack-o'-lantern has roots in an old Irish legend about a man named Stingy Jack. According to the story, Jack tricked the devil multiple times, and when he died, he was barred from both heaven and hell due to his actions. The devil, out of spite, gave Jack only a burning coal to light his way as he wandered the earth. Jack placed the coal inside a carved-out turnip to create a makeshift lantern, leading to the term jack-o'-lantern. People in Ireland and Scotland carved scary faces into turnips or potatoes and placed them near doors and windows to frighten away Stingy Jack and other wandering spirits. When immigrants brought the traditions to America, they found that pumpkins native to North America were easier to carve, and thus the modern jack-o'-lantern tradition was born. Sorry for the noise. Over time, the jack-o'-lantern became a popular Halloween decoration, often representing protection against evil spirits and becoming a general symbol of Halloween. Now, many people think that that was things in the past, and these things are innocent. But in 1 Thessalonians 5:22, it says to abstain from all appearance of evil. We are to abstain from all appearance of evil. So therefore, we don't put. I have a pumpkin on my porch, but it's not carved out. It's just a nice little pumpkin that represents fall and some pretty little fall flowers, and little pumpkins as they give thanks. I want to be able to enjoy the fall, and I want to be able to enjoy some of the beautiful decorations, but I want to abstain from the appearance of evil. And so, like I said, in our fall festivals, we don't do trick or treating. There's a reason why the kids trick or treat. So, with the tradition of trick or treating, it comes back to during the time people would light bonfires, wear costumes to ward off ghosts and other spirits, and take part in parades and other festivities. Sorry. However, for many Christians, Halloween has come to mean something quite different. Many believe that it's not a celebration of traditions or beliefs from the past, but rather a celebration of evil and darkness from then and now. Others feel that we should let go of this holiday entirely, choosing instead to focus on celebrating God's light and goodness all year long. Ultimately, whether you choose to support Halloween comes down to your own beliefs about faith and your spirituality. And then there's witches. How do they get involved in Halloween? Witches have been associated with Halloween since the holiday's early days. This is likely because Halloween is a time when the boundary between the world of the living and the world of the dead is said to be at its thinnest. Witches were believed to have special powers that allow them to communicate with spirits and even control them. I heard on, I believe it's a Christian station, Christian television station one time. This is what a former witch had to say about it. Well, she's no longer a witch. She has now came to salvation through Jesus. But she said, she argues that doing Halloween goes against everything that Christianity stands for. She also believes that it can be dangerous for people to take part in activities that are linked to the occult, such as dressing up in costumes or going trick-or-treating. And the one that I heard was saying that a witch would never get up and just come and sit down inside of church. That's not the environment that a practicing witch wants to do, is get up and come to God's house and go to church. So why would we as Christians want to participate in this very dark holiday? And, many think it's okay if the kids dress up like Bible characters, or angels, or Mickey Mouse. It's not just what the children are dressing up as. It's participating in the whole environment of this holiday. Does not it's not good. And I think about how the serpent comes to Eve in the garden and tricks Eve and says, eat of this, of the tree of good and evil, go ahead and eat of it, that you will be, your eyes will be open and you'll be as gods. And he deceived her into disobeying God, and then her husband comes along and does the same thing, and it looks innocent. It looked, well, maybe innocent's not the word. It looked inviting to them. And so, but we see the enemy deceived Adam and Eve into believing that they shall not surely die. And so today, when I think about Halloween, if you think about the very darkness of our world that we live in today, is growing darker and darker every day as it gets closer to the return of Jesus. And so therefore, Halloween is everything that as Christians that we're not about. We're about the light. Jesus is the light. And the bride of Christ is the light. And so if we are to be a light shining in the darkness, how can we be that light and partake of the darkness as well? And so with Halloween, you have very just a lot of evil that's associated with Halloween, very darkness. Look at the movies that are put out. I wouldn't recommend watching them, but you can see them advertised. And the movies that come out around Halloween are always very dark and very evil, and there's no light in them at all. When some folks put up decorations, they're very dark, very evil. And so I think in a world where we're trying to, as Christians, give the world hope, why would we want to participate in a holiday that is so dark? While we try to be a light to help people find their way out of the darkness. So I hope my video makes sense. This is my first video, and I might be kind of rambling a little bit, but this is really something that is really on my heart. I said, well, if I do YouTube, I may do some shorts. I don't prefer to be on camera. We'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll have more on camera. I don't know. I just have to pray and see how the Lord leads me as far as doing YouTube and what direction I should go. But I'm just speaking from the heart now. I'm just speaking from the heart. I just feel like, if you have young children today and you think, well, what will we do? How will I tell my children, that we're not going to participate in this when they're not old enough to understand? Maybe you fear that they're not old enough to understand. Now, I will say in all fairness, I homeschool, and I have always homeschooled all the way through, all 8 of my children. And so they were not faced with the temptations that they would be faced with hearing these topics with other children and other people, and these schools participating in these things in that nature. I do get that. Of course, I could talk to you about the importance of homeschooling, but that's another topic for another day. But I just trained my children when they were very small, and it was just another day. I never made Halloween look like a big deal. If anything, I just tried to ignore it like it wasn't even out there. And so we've always been big, my husband and I, in doing things with our kids. So I didn't need to go do something special for, quote, Halloween, because it was just a day. It was just another day. And then as they would get older, we would bring out the significance when they were old enough to be able to understand. And don't make the mistake of thinking your child has to be 11 or 12 to be able to understand these things, because we taught our children at very young ages. My youngest one right now is 11, and he can clearly tell you why it is we do not participate in Halloween. So moms, dads, don't be discouraged if you think, well, my kid can't participate in that. And I know there are a lot of churches that do this, because the churches, it's an outreach and it's a way to get folks to come. But ultimately, a lot of times, it's a substitute for Halloween. We don't need to replace one evil practice with another evil practice. Hopefully I'm not being offensive to anybody. I'm just speaking my heart. Like I say, if it's something you do, or you get up and you go to your church and they do trunk or treats, I'm not trying to put anybody down or anything. This is just something that it was something that I was passionate enough about that I was willing to go on camera and talk about it. I probably didn't explain all the origins well enough, but I will put the links to, I'll have the links to the 2 blog posts that I did below. But the best thing that I could say is just pray about this topic and ask God to open up your eyes so you can be able to fully understand. Halloween's all about the occults and everything that the Bible is against. So I think that's all, and leave a comment.